Hi. Surprise. What's up, Lori? It's nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Alrighty. Okay. Lori, tell me, can you hear this music that I'm playing in the background? I don't want to get marked for copyright. You cannot? Okay, that's really, really good. It's nice to be on here. I feel like it's been forever. I have not been feeling it at all, honestly. So I'm glad that I'm finally getting up. I honestly wasn't sure if I was going to do it today. And can you hear me okay as well? Because earlier my mic was being weird. And then I couldn't use it, so now I have to use the actual. What's up? Here I am again. You look stunning. Aw, thank you. All right, what's up, Gen Z? Oh my God, is your name like Gen Z, like Gen Z? Is that what this is to be for? That's actually funny if so. Maybe a little bit funnier if that was not your intention. You can hear me fine. Okay, cool. Yes, I'm so dead. Are you a Gen Zer? I'm gonna tell you what, guys. I am super happy I got my tube socks on. I got my tube socks on. I am super comfy all the way out here in the middle of nowhere in Virginia. It feels so freaking nice. It has been so nice to take like a live stream or a break from live streaming. It really has. I hope you guys have been okay. I'm sorry I've been kind of out of the loop. September sucked, dude. September legitimately sucked for me. I absolutely hated it. I hated September so much. October wasn't that great either, to be honest, but surprisingly it was better than September. All right, give me just a second and we will get started. Okay. Do, 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 do. Okay. Oh my God, it's Scorpio season today. Oh my God, yay, it's Scorpio season. I'm so happy. Sorry, I know I'm doing this on like the at the worst time while everyone's working. I'm really sorry. I don't like going live at night though. September was so gross. I hated that solar eclipse in Virgo. That solar eclipse in Virgo was disgusting. That solar eclipse was so freaking nasty, dude. I hated it. The little south node eclipse, gross. Who wants a south node eclipse? At least I'm awake. What does that mean? Okay, all right. Well, I'm just gonna get into it. I'm just gonna do this. Might as well try to get back into it if I can. Although I know I'm just scratching the surface on a wing and a prayer. All right, let's see here. All right, so we're gonna be doing all signs tarot, obviously. If you guys wanna book a super chat question, you could do so at hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. You can find it, it's pinned at the top of the comment or chat box. We're gonna be taking a look at basically what you don't see coming for this week. I know we have that Sun square Pluto, which is really just fun for no one. But other than that, it shouldn't be absolutely terrible. So let's just go ahead and get into it so I don't waste any more time. Let's just get this over with, shall we? All right, let me see. All right, let's go ahead and just do Aries. Aries, Seven of Swords reversed for your energy. The High Priestess for what you don't see coming. And your advice is the Knight of Cups reversed. I mean, that Seven of Swords reverse can certainly talk about you guys confessing something. You guys may be actually admitting some kind of truth, maybe to other people, maybe to yourself. It could also be a big focus on yourself as well. There could be some kind of secrets that are maybe being revealed, whether it's about you or about somebody else. I mean, it kind of goes in with the astrology with Sun square Pluto anyway, so it really wouldn't shock me. Let's see that Seven of Swords reversed. Ooh, Nine of Pentacles reversed in the Hermit. This is textbook, I don't want to say selfish. It's textbook self-focused. With the Seven of Swords reversed and the Nine of Pentacles reversed and the Hermit, the Seven of Swords in the upright can sometimes represent somebody who's doing something for the good of the group. The Seven of Swords reversed can represent somebody who's doing something solely for themselves, okay? And sometimes it's because they need to. Now that Nine of Pentacles reversed is there, which can tell me you may be making some overpromises, whether to yourself or to others. There can be something that you feel guilty about in regards to some kind of promise that you cannot deliver on. And the Hermit there is going to lead to some kind of self-realization. Now, if you're like, yeah, that's not me, that's somebody else I'm dealing with, great. Please apply it how you may. But that Hermit energy, it very much speaks of humility. You know, you think about the Hermit is Virgo, which can talk about integrity, believe it or not. You know, it can talk about service, and the sixth house has correlations with Virgo. So the sixth house is a very humbling house. And so I feel like there is something humbling here. And I think it's more so because you did maybe overpromise on something, and this weekend you're gonna maybe be kind of feeling a little bit guilty because you can't really deliver on that promise, to be honest. Okay. Can we get one more about what this is about? The Ten of Swords. Ooh. Okay, well. The Ten of Swords, yikes. This may feel like a betrayal. Okay. You know, maybe this is something like I'm trying to glaze it over, right? Maybe this is like somebody had cheated on you and you're like, okay, well, we're gonna try to make it work or something, and you're realizing like, fuck, you know what, buddy? I can't do it. You know, I just can't do it, right? So it really depends, but it does feel like whatever this is either because of an ending or it's kind of leading up to that. The good news is that the Ten of Swords, you know, you can't get any lower than that, right? The only place to go is up. So there's that. What you don't see coming, the High Priestess, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles. Okay. Well, you know, sometimes one thing doesn't work out, so something else can, right? So I feel like a lot of you guys are now able to kind of put some stock in what your highest potential is in regards to something. And this can be in regards to your health. It can be in regards to a work situation. You guys may get some kind of job opportunity, but it feels more like behind the scenes. Like it's something that's going on behind the scenes, which is giving you or giving you the opportunity to build something, to learn something, and it's something that's tangible. So it has something to do with your finances, something you can touch, feel, taste, smell. It's kind of like that. Can I get one more on that High Priestess? The Six of Wands, something that could lead to a lot of recognition, I would say. This can be something that you're working on behind the scenes as well. You know what it feels like? It almost feels like this is something that you've worked on in the past, and now because of this, like you're getting an opportunity to do something with it. Like The best example that I can give for this is I remember there was this lady and she was talking about her story about how she was homeless. I'm not saying you're homeless, okay? But this lady, she was talking about how she was homeless, and she had an old Tumblr, right? She had an old Tumblr account, and she did a lot of her writing there. She'd been writing since she was younger, and she was homeless, sleeping in her car. 8 months of doing this, she gets an email from somebody who actually saw her Tumblr and wanted to hire her right then and there. And she was like, no freaking way. Like, this is a blessing. You know what I'm saying? And she ended up saying, okay, I'll do this if you guys give me a 3-month advance, because she wanted a place to live, right? And they did it. And so it's giving that kind of vibe. Again, not saying you're living in your car, not saying you're homeless, not saying you're a writer on Tumblr. It just reminds me of that story for some reason. What's up, Leia? Hi, baby. So let's see that Knight of Cups reversed for your advice. With the Page of Swords reversed and the 3 of Wands, don't let your feelings get in the way of ruining something that could really be a huge opportunity for you. And it can just be some insecurities that are kind of coming to the surface. You're maybe like second guessing something, or you're assuming the worst about a situation, when I think you really just need to kind of open up a little bit to it and see what it may have to offer. Okay, so it doesn't have to be all bad. So let's get you some oracles. Communication is key. Well, maybe it is about writing. New moon in Gemini, Libra. Well, we just had a new moon in Libra. And then we have quiet moments. Seek solace in the silence where clarity finds its true voice. That's really interesting. So there's something here with these two air signs that it's showing me in the oracle. And then we also have quiet moments on top of it. That's very like contradicting a little bit. However, in this particular oracle, it talks about finding its true voice, or maybe finding your true voice in quiet. So maybe there's something here as well about not allowing yourself to be so influenced from the external world or people around you. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't listen to people who have really great advice, all of that. But at the end of the day, I think that you're going to find your answers when you're alone, when you're meditating, when you're kind of doing your own thing. Maybe that has something to do with this High Priestess, because the High Priestess can be a bit spiritual. So that's what I have for you, Aries. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and move on to Taurus for the weekend. All right. It's so nice to see you, Leia. I saw you in here, Cream. What's up? All right, let's move on. All right, Taurus, what's going on? Let's see. Ooh, I love it. If you don't want to get pregnant, wrap it up. The Empress, the Queen of Wands reverse for something you can be kind of dealing with this weekend. That's no fun. And then you have the the 4 of Cups reverse. I love that you're showing up as your major arcana first and foremost, especially as the Empress. Venus, that's your major arcana. You share it respectively with Libra as well. But the Empress is all about beauty, creativity, self-care, all of the good stuff, right? All of the Venusian things, which I know that you guys love. So to me, if you've been watching me for a while, you know that if you show up for me, okay, this is just for me, I'm not saying any other tarot reader believes this, but if you're showing up as your major arcana, like that's your energy, and it's showing up in dignity, it's showing in the upright, then to me, that is you in your highest vibration. So I feel like you're doing pretty good this weekend. I would be cautious of this, especially with the Sun square Pluto that's happening. For instance, if you are a Taurus rising, the Sun transiting your 7th house, and if you're one-on-one relationships, clients, other people squaring Pluto and Aquarius in your 10th house, this can be like jealousies kind of coming about, or you can kind of be the focal point of somebody's projection. The Queen of Wands reverse is somebody who's very jealous, very angry, very upset for whatever reason, right? The Queen of Wands, the reason why she's like that is because she has a lot of insecurities, okay? There's a lack of confidence. But I feel like with that 4 of Cups reverse, it's just telling you, like, guess what? You don't have to focus on that, right? So let's see the Empress. the Queen of Cups reversed, and the Two of Wands reversed. Okay, interesting combo. This isn't about anyone else anymore, in my opinion. Like, even if you were maybe in love, or maybe you had some suitors, or who knows, right? Whatever it is, you're like, I don't know, like, full stop, you know? There's something here about when it comes to love, you guys needing to go back to the drawing board. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, the Queen of Cups reversed is here for a reason. That tells me as a reader that you may be having some issues around trust. Maybe somebody broke your heart. Maybe you went through a divorce. Whatever it may be, that there is something emotionally there that isn't quite clicking. But the Queen of Cups is Cancer. Cancer is very nourishing of others. Cancer is very nurturing of family and taking care of everybody else in a way. Okay, kind of like Virgo, just in a different way. But when the Queen of Cups is reversed, she can't really be in that energy anymore because she's not feeling it. She doesn't trust whom or what she is nurturing. So this, to me, with the Two of Wands reversed, can be like going back to the drawing board. I'm not doing that anymore. So now the Empress is different. The Empress is, yes, she will love others, all of these things, but she is more about, if I don't take care of myself first, I can't take care of anyone else. So she pours into herself. She, takes her little sitz baths, and she does her face masks, and she this, that, and the third, right? So there is something there about that where you were trying to focus so much on loving others and pouring into others, it feels to me like you're turning that more so inward. Okay, even with all this Scorpio energy going on, which can represent the other or how we merge with another person, you seem to be like, I don't want to say like you're living your best life, because that Queen of Cups reverse is there, but I mean, you're doing your best, and you look really good doing it, especially with that Empress there. So what I would say is keep doing that. Like, keep doing the things that are making you feel good, Taurus. Keep doing the things that are making you look good, right? It's the in and out. And then we have the Queen of Wands reversed with the Five of Cups reversed and the Devil. I'm sorry, what is this person's intention with Taurus here? The Six of Cups. Interesting. There may be somebody who is quite fixated on you specifically. It looks to me like it's a feminine, okay? It looks to me like it's a woman or somebody who has very strong feminine energy, but they don't seem to be in the best energy. However, it does feel like there's a workaround. And I say that because we have the Five of Cups to the Six of Cups, which tells me that there's some level of progression. The good news is that the Five of Cups is reversed. So whatever this jealousy is that this person may have towards you, or this anger, this fixation, it seems like there's a chance at forgiveness or being able to let go. What this person seems to really want with you is an actual connection. And I say that because I asked what their intention with you is, and I got the Six of Cups. So when I see the Six of Cups as an intention, that's Sun in Scorpio. Hello, Sun just entered Scorpio. Then that tells me that there's a person that wants to connect with you on a very vulnerable level. And it almost makes me feel like somebody had been projecting some weird thing onto you. I don't know what it is, and I don't know why, but the reason being, in my opinion, is because they wanted to connect with you. They want to know you, or they want to, I don't know, just have a conversation with you, something like that. So it just seems very bizarre. You know what it feels like? So I'm not saying that this is like a love or anything, but back when I was like dating somebody, and we wouldn't talk for a while, my way of getting back there, okay, now I'm exposing myself here, okay? My way of getting back in that relationship was by starting a fight. Okay, I would literally start a fight because I'd be angry, and I'd start a fight, and I'd be really pissed off, and then like, okay, yay, now everything's good again, right? It feels like that. It kind of feels like that, but it looks like it's a feminine person, okay? So whatever that's about. Your advice is the Four of Cups reversed, the Lovers reversed, and the Queen of Wands upright. Whoa. So once again, it's basically saying like, you don't have to focus on this if you don't want to, right? And you know that. But that Queen of Wands is upright, which is really interesting to me because, you know, what you don't see coming is the Queen of Wands reversed. You know, you could feel like somebody's lashing out on you and maybe you have an idea why, or maybe you really have no idea at all. And to me, it's saying like, hey, like if this person can't conduct themselves in an appropriate manner, you don't have to deal with them. You can literally just ignore it, right? I can't tell you how many freaking comments on my YouTube channel I have to ignore because they're so fucking weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so if this person comes correct, great. But if they don't lower yourself to meet them where they're at. Nothing will come of this situation. You know, it feels like somebody's a troll, like trying to, yeah, here's house 10. We were just talking about Sun Square Pluto, right? And then fast progress, move forward with a swift precision and do what must be done now. So there's something in regards to your career, your reputation, maybe your social standing in one way or another, where it's saying that you need to start taking the lead. And maybe that's what this Queen of Wands is as well. Maybe it's asking you to lead by example, right? Like this Queen of Wands reversed, whomever this is, instead of like stooping down to somebody's level, I hate to say it like that, but these things do happen. Lead by example. Show somebody that there's a different way to do something than they've been doing it. And I really think that's just going to put you in a good position, because you think about house 10. House 10 is a natural Capricorn house, which is about responsibility, maturity, all of these things. So I feel like that's what you need to focus on. In regards to this Queen of Wands reverse, it just kind of feels like a fly at a barbecue, so don't focus on it too much. Thanks a lot, Taurus. Take care. Let's go ahead and move on to Gemini, okay? Gemini, you guys had a really good individual read this week. It premieres tonight, so make sure you guys turn on your notifications for that. But you guys had a pretty cool reading. Why does it do that? What's up, Candy? Nice to see you. What's up, Rich? You know what? I don't even need to do that. I can just go right here. All right. What's up, Zane? All right, Gemini. What's up, BK? All right, Gemini, let's see what you don't see coming for this weekend. The Five of Swords reversed for your energy. The Hangman reversed for what you don't see coming. I heard you're still holding on to that. Okay. The Two of Wands for your advice. I mean, it really depends, Gemini, on what comes out with that Five of Swords reverse, because the Five of Swords reverse, I mean, it really depends. Sometimes it can represent where we're like, I don't want to play games anymore, you know, like, get out of my face, don't want to do it, thank you, I wash my hands of this, right? And then the Hangman reversed for what you don't see coming, you could feel like somebody still is holding on to something that you may deem as ridiculous. It is asking you to make a decision on something, so let's see what that's about. The Five of Swords reversed, the Nine of Swords reversed, and the Ten of Pentacles reversed. Yikes. You guys are kind of at this point where something's got to give, in my opinion. There's something that's not working for you, and it's maybe in regards to a relationship, a business, you know, something in regards to legacy perhaps, but you're kind of at this point where you feel like no matter what you do, you just can't win in this particular direction. A lot of it is causing some insecurity within you, or it may be that this insecurity is causing this failure. So only you are really going to be able to use discernment and know what that is, Gemini. Can I get, what's the failing here? The Three of Cups. There could be some kind of group endeavor that's not panning out. Give me a second. I wonder if it's around your friendships or some kind of maybe work relationship. It's around relationships of some sort, but you kind of feel like it doesn't have the legs to stand on. I really want to say this. Oh, I see what it is. Ooh, be careful whose advice you buy, Gemini. The Ten of Pentacles reverse can sometimes represent where we're putting too much stock in what other people think in regards to our purpose, or where we see ourselves in 10 years, or what maybe certain people think about a project that we're working on. And again, like I was telling Aries, it's okay, right, to sometimes value people's input and da-da-da-da-da. But again, using discernment is going to be incredibly important here, because even these people who you're putting so much stock into what their opinions are, maybe they don't have the worst intentions, right? The Three of Cups is here. But at the same time, you need to have the discernment and the intelligence, which I know that you guys do, to be able to make your own decisions based around your intuition and your logical ability to do so. So I think that's kind of where you guys are at. Like, I notice, right? Sometimes I do that. I'm a Mercury in Libra. I know nobody cares, but I'm a Mercury in Libra. So the way that I think, I'm always trying to weigh both sides. And sometimes that means that I rely on other people and what they think I should be doing, as opposed to my own, what I know is best for me, right? And so again, it's really about needing to use discernment in regards to that, because I know that there are certain people, like for instance, right, let me just give you an example. This person that I was friends with a long time ago, he was like, you know what, you should do a live stream for all your individual readings. And so I was doing that and I was making a little bit of money or whatever, but then I realized, like, and this happened for years and I didn't realize what had happened. But I wasn't gaining any more subscribers. When I worked with a YouTube professional, he was like, yeah, that's because you're not doing any pre-recorded individual readings. So while this person may have had the best of intent to tell me, hey, you can make more money if you do a live stream for all your individual readings, he had the best of intent, but I didn't use discernment in that matter. And I was like, yeah, okay, let's do that, right? Not understanding why my YouTube channel was dying. So, and like I said, this went on for years. So, I mean, sometimes it's not necessarily that, someone's trying to hurt you. It's just that you need to know what's best for you. That's all. Okay. So that's what I have to say about that. We have the Hangman reverse, the Death, and the Nine of Cups. Okay. Yeah, again, it seems like something does happen where you could feel like your perspective is being skewed by others, okay? Sometimes the Hangman reverse can show up when we lack perspective. And we can be lacking perspective because we're either not listening to others, or we can lack perspective because we're not listening to ourselves and we're putting too much stock in whatever other people are saying. And that can cause us to remain stagnant for a while in a situation. Well, that's done with that Death card there. Something may happen where you are forced to change a specific perspective and perhaps put yourself first, or something along those lines. And with that Nine of Cups, it shows me that because of that external influence, it seems like you're getting something that you wished for. You're getting something that you wanted. So then we have the Two of Wands with the Emperor reversed and the Empress. Whoa. Wow. So, the Two of Wands can represent when we are needing to come out of our comfort zone in some way. So what can that look like? That can be like where maybe we need to change up our routine because something isn't working, or maybe we need to change our approach in regards to attracting clientele. I don't know. It can be a majority of things. But the Emperor reversed being here, and then with the Empress, that's very telling. So please forgive me. I know that I talk about myself a lot in people's readings, but it's the best way for me to give examples of things. So, I grew up where I felt like I had to constantly be in my masculine energy because I didn't feel safe. Okay. And I never really felt like I got the chance to be able to just relax and feel safe and be feminine and all of these things. And so sometimes I can find that I can become masculine in situations that don't even really require that, right? Nobody's coming after me. Nobody's trying to fight me, right? Nobody is trying to steal my purse, right? And so sometimes I need to exercise that muscle because it is underworked. And so what does that mean for you? Maybe you're too lackadaisical. Maybe you do put too much stock in other people's opinions, right? Venusian energy. Maybe it's that you need to start standing up for yourself and becoming a little bit more assertive when it comes to, I don't know, what your life plan is, your retirement, your legacy, your relationships, etc. Maybe you need to, so it's going to be different for all of you, but so you have to kind of ask yourself, which energy do you need to kind of lean into, and which muscle do you need to work a little bit more? Don't let your past hold you back. And then Mercury. Mercury's in shadow right now. And then we have no illusions. It says, stay grounded in truth, embracing reality with clarity and wisdom to navigate life's journey authentically. Well, Mercury is all about you, and Mercury is in its shadow period right now, and it's going to go retrograde from Sagittarius, where it hates being in, to Scorpio, where it can get a little dark, right? And so with this, don't let your past hold you back. There may be some things that you're needing to learn during this Mercury retrograde, and it's certainly going to affect you and Virgos the most, with respect to Scorpios and Sagittarius as well, because it is going retrograde in their sign. But maybe see where you have those two signs in your natal chart, and it can tell you where you're needing to let something go in that department. And be very honest with yourself about what that is, instead of holding on or clinging on to an old perspective that is a bit outdated. Okay. So that is what I have for you, Gemini. Let's go ahead and move on to Cancer. Oh no! What's up, Faye? What's up, kiddos? What a pretty color on you. Black? Thanks. Oh, wow, that's really cool, Rich. Congratulations. Any words of advice? Like, you just want my opinion on moving in with her? Everything you give her, don't expect anything. And remember that whatever you give her, she's going to multiply. Women are mirrors and multipliers. Whatever you give them, they will give back to you threefold. So if you give them chaos, they will give you a war. If you give them peace, they will give you an angel. Okay, that is my recommendation. All right, so Cancer, let's go ahead and see Cancer. Ooh, the Six of Wands. Okay, what you don't see coming, the Three of Cups, and the Knight of Swords for your advice. Definitely getting some recognition. I really like this, Cancer. It seems like your groups, your friends, your communities, maybe online or otherwise, are really paying attention to what you're doing, what you have to say. Maybe any trials or tribulations that you've gone through. It's like you're being recognized for coming out of that in one way or another. This Knight of Swords for your advice is a bit interesting. It may be telling you that there's more information you need to learn about something, or it may also be saying, don't wait around. Go ahead and take action towards XYZ like now. Okay, so there could be a reconciliation as well if that's something that you're interested in. The Six of Wands, wow, the Six of Wands with the Five of Wands. You know what? It feels like a long time coming, honestly, Cancer. It feels like you're finally getting a lot of recognition and applause after a long time of maybe some drama, some conflicts, some trials, some tribulations that you decided to get yourself out of. I think that you still feel a little bit conflicted in regards to a situation. This weekend, you may find that maybe there's a tad bit of drama, but you're also going to find that it's going to lead to more recognition or appreciation from others. So, what is the best way? It almost feels like it's the way that you handle something that people are giving you a kind of a pat on the back about. What's this Five of Wands? The Ten of Wands. Yeah. It seems like you took on a responsibility that wasn't even yours. You took on a responsibility that you didn't have to. And I feel like people are very proud of you for that. I think that they may even be looking at you like some kind of leader or like someone to be admired, honestly. Because there's something that you seem to... You may have decided to handle it with, like you took the high road is what it feels like to me. Like, okay, so best way I can explain this. Let's say that, you know, you're working on a project at work, okay? And it's you and 4 other people. And let's say Tammy, she messes up on the project and you're like, don't worry about it, we'll take care of it. You clean up a little bit of the mess. When the boss asks, well, what's this mistake that happened, you take it upon yourself to take credit for that mistake, you know, but you say, well, it's fixed now, I took care of it, and like everyone's in the clear. Your boss is happy, everyone's in the clear, right? And so like you're being rewarded for that, right? People are like, wow, that was really noble of you. You know, like that's really cool. You know, thanks, buddy, right? Tammy's buying you lunch now, you know? And so it kind of feels like it's something like that. I'm not saying it's about work, okay? It's just an example. 3 of Cups with the King of Wands reversed and the Judgment for what you don't see coming. What's this King of Wands reversed about? The 8 of Wands. You know, this seems like a pretty social time for you, Cancer. It seems like you're getting together with people this weekend. You're hanging out. You're having a good time. You're chilling. And then some like stank attitude person kind of comes around and has a problem with like everything that you're saying, anything that you're doing. If you're dealing with like a King of Wands reversed archetype, right, that's fun for no one. Okay, so if that King of Wands reversed is not you, what they're upset about is the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands is Mercury in Sagittarius, which we're going to see here pretty soon, but it can be about like this person having an ego around something that you've said, around something that you believe in, something that you've expressed, and they just seem to have an attitude about it. What I will say is this can be somebody from your past with that Judgment energy there. This person can decide to kind of take accountability, or you could even pressure them to take some level of accountability for something. For others of you, if this is you, this King of Wands reversed, then I would likely say that you may be having a sense of imposter syndrome. Because it's like, here, you took on this responsibility, you're looking really great, you're getting this recognition, right? And everybody's here now, everybody's here supporting you, but it may be calling you to step up, which can feel a bit uncomfortable. But it's trying to lead you to some kind of higher purpose. We have the Knight of Swords with the Fool and the High Priestess reversed for your advice. Why is that High Priestess reversed? The Two of Cups reversed. I mean, if there's any time to trust yourself, Cancer, it's while your, Jupiter is in your sign, which is now. So, and given it's going to be retrograde by November 11th, but if you're going to trust yourself, your intuition, your path, your life's purpose, now would be the time. I definitely would not waste that energy. If you're going to get a move on something, if you're going to write a book, if you're going to start working out, if you're going to whatever, right? Start that YouTube channel. Now would be the time. Because you may be ignoring it. You may be feeling that sense of imposter syndrome. You may be second guessing yourself. When really what you need to do is you need to listen to your inner wisdom, and you need to stop disconnecting yourself from that, especially if it's in regards to other people's opinions, or you just trying to logisticize something that doesn't necessarily need to be analyzed so much. So try to trust yourself in this process, Cancer. Don't let pride get in your way. So, okay. And then we have Neptune. And then we have just go with it. Well, I mean, Neptune is all about just kind of going with it anyway. It's about going with the flow, right? And it's about releasing. It says, embrace spontaneity and trust the journey, remaining open to unexpected twists and turns along the way. So this should be a wild ride. It should be whatever this new thing is. It should be a wild ride. It should be a ride of optimism, lessons, excitement, this brand new path, right? Don't allow your ego or your lack of confidence or your pride or whatever it may be to stop you from doing what it is that you want to do. I mean, how many times has ego or pride stopped us in our tracks from doing what it is that we want to do? And sometimes ego isn't like, oh, I'm better than everyone else. Sometimes it's ego telling us that we are really not good enough. Because what is ego? Ego is really just insecurity masked as confidence. And so I feel like you guys need to dissolve that a little bit, right? Allow yourself to begin again, right? With that Fool energy there. Allow yourself to start over and be youthful in that energy and be receptive to what's around you. So that's what I have for you, Cancer. Thank you. Let's go ahead and move on to my Leos. Alrighty. What's up, Mojo? What's up, Jojana? You have been so on point with kids. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Green tea is the best. I'm a Cancer and my hubby is a Leo. That's what's up. What's up, Susan? Aloha. It's great to see you too, Mojo. All right, Leo, let's see what we got for you this weekend. Page of Cups reversed in your energy. The Judgment reversed for what you don't see coming. Okay. Your advice is the Fool. Okay, Leo. Well, you got a similar advice, it seems like, Cancer. Okay, you may be a little creatively blocked. You know what I'm saying? For some of you, you may have somebody that is projecting their their sins, their sins onto you, or their insecurities onto you maybe. And I'm kind of getting that for a few of the signs already, at least a couple of them. So that may be the case. Somebody may misjudge you as well, is kind of what I'm getting. And I feel like it affects you. But before I get ahead of myself, let's see what that Page of Cups reversed is about. The Three of Pentacles reversed. The Seven of Wands. Ooh. Yeah, I feel like somebody's judging you. And it feels like it's a work situation. It doesn't have to be. It can be love as well. So basically, I'm going to make this as simple as possible. The Three of Pentacles reversed. The Three of Pentacles in general is Mars and Capricorn. When Capricorn is in its reversed energy just in general, it can be incredibly condescending. And I love Capricorns. They're one of my favorite signs, Capricorn and Cancer. Okay, love that. But Capricorn, when pushed, or when you get into the Capricornian ego where you poke the bear, they can start to very much demean, but they almost do it in a way that appears like they're trying to be constructive, but it's a little belittling, right? It's the upturned nose and the kind of know-it-all energy. And I feel like a lot of earth signs can do that. And so with the Three of Pentacles here, that's kind of what I feel like is going on. I do feel like it's being done to you. And I say that because you seem to be closing off because of this. The Seven of Wands tells me that not only do you feel the need to defend yourself in a situation and stand up for yourself, but you're doing so successfully. So somebody is not on the same page with you about something, and it is making you feel a little insecure. It's kind of putting you in a mood naturally, right? We're all humans. But that Seven of Wands tells me that after a while of titillating, after a while of going back and forth with someone, you're like, okay, I'm not gonna be nice anymore. This is how this is gonna go. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of feel something like that is taking place. Why is this person acting like this? The Strength card, because this person may be afraid that you're either going to take their place, take their job. This person may feel like you're very much a leader and you have a lot of confidence or something along those lines. And so I think that it makes this person a bit intimidated, is what I want to say. A little intimidated, a little judgmental. So something to keep in mind when you maybe attract this energy. Maybe it's a partner, I don't know. Let's see that Judgment reversed. Yeah, okay. Well, there you go, right? Excuse my nails, they look like shit. So the Judgment reversed, the Magician reversed, and the Sun reversed. It almost feels like it comes out of left field, even though it feels like it's also been kind of burning under the surface. Like, for instance, if this is a coworker, let's say, you could kind of have felt for a while like, oh, I don't know if this person really likes me, but like, whatever, I'm not going to put too much stock in that, right? Moving on. But now this may be where you start to really feel like it's bubbling up. It's bubbling to the surface. And you're going to feel like somebody is intentionally misjudging you. And it can be that this person is trying to make you question your own sense of confidence. And I say that because the Magician reversed is a trickster. They usually have really bad intentions, but the Magician reversed is also somebody who doubts themselves. And so with that Sun reversed, which is your major arcana, the Sun reversed, their intent, their bad intent is to make you second guess your sense of confidence, your sense of leadership, your identity. And so I really want you to remember that when this is happening. I think that people like this can sometimes be a blessing, although it may not feel like that in the moment. And I say it's a blessing because if we don't have these challenges, if we don't have people who are making us double down on what we're confident about, or challenging us to stand our ground on something, then we really become weak. If we're always around yes men or people that are, you know, always stroking our egos or whatever, you know, we become weak. We become sometimes narcissistic. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, even though it's gonna suck in the moment, just take it as that challenge to double down on who the fuck you are. Okay. We have the Fool, the Two of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords reverse. Yeah, pay it no mind, you know, in my opinion. The Fool, the Fool is all about, you know, liberating yourself. It can very much be that because it has relations to the planet Uranus. Uranus is about rebellion and change and being exactly who you are and not staying in one place and evolving in the way that you see fit. And the Two of Pentacles is saying, you know, when this person challenges who you are, don't try to conform to what it is that they want you to be. Be exactly who you are. Make the decision to be that person and show up as your most authentically healed self, okay? The answers you need are coming, yeah, I'll say. And then we have House 6. So if you guys, for some of you, if you've been waiting on some kind of health result or something like that, this could be maybe a time, maybe on Friday, that you get some kind of health result. If you guys have been waiting on some kind of job or, I don't know, maybe a personal trainer or something like that, maybe some, you know, you're trying to figure out how to heal yourself organically and naturally, and you stumble upon a YouTube channel and it's like, oh my God, you know, wow, this is how you make your own organic oat milk. This is just going to be great. You know, whatever the thing is, the answers that you need in regards to health, work, routine, things like that is going to come for you this week. Then it says slow climb. You are getting there one steady step at a time with a little bit of effort. Well, that's kind of what House 6 is about, right? It's about your routine. One foot in front of the other is kind of the vibe. And so I feel like if you guys keep doing that, the answers will come, okay? So that's what I have for you, Leo. Thank you. What's up, Victoria? Thanks, Michael. All right. This thing is so ugly. I hate this. But my other one makes so much noise. It's so annoying. That's what it sounds like every time I take a drink out of it. Okay. All right, let's move on to Virgo. Wow, Michael, you are, I would love to be in that mindset, living my dream life. All right, Virgo, let's see. The Four of Swords, the Four of Swords. What you don't see coming is the Five of Pentacles. Oh God, careful of your money, Virgo. And then we have the Star, and that is for your advice. So a lot of healing going on. Some of you guys are healing from a surgery, from a physical ailment. We did have that new moon in Virgo, South Node eclipse, which we're not even going to see the full culmination of that for another 6 months. So maybe you guys got sick around that time. Maybe you had to let go of something or someone, and so you're kind of healing, maybe spending some time alone. And that really is the guidance as well with that Star energy. But where the Four of Swords is more about spending time with yourself and healing, the Star can be about sharing that experience. You know, you think about the Star has correlations with the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius can be about the collective, right? We see a lot of that now with Power to the People, with Pluto transiting Aquarius right now. And so with that Star energy, it may be saying something that you've gone through. Maybe it's a physical issue, a health issue, maybe it's a heartbreak issue. It may be asking you to share that with the collective in some way or another. I heard that's where your power lies. Five of Pentacles, I'm not really sure what that is yet. It could be financial, but let's see. Why is that King of Swords reversed? The Two of Swords. You are, the Four of Swords, the King of Swords reversed, and the Three of Swords reversed. I mean, you're definitely healing from something, but you don't seem to want to share it. You don't seem like you really want to talk about it. If anything, you just want peace. You may not want to even discuss it with a therapist or friends or anybody really. It feels very much like a loner-esque kind of energy. And I'm not mad at you. You know, sometimes we need to do that. I mean, your major arcana, after all, is the Hermit, which is all about being alone and finding solace there. And so I feel like some of you, that's what you're really doing. What is this Three of Swords reversed about? The Eight of Swords. May have been something or someone that you've been stuck on for a long time. Maybe you were a little undecided about it. It feels like you kind of kept in the loop, or you were on a hamster wheel for a while. And so now you're maybe choosing to just kind of be alone, nest a little bit, think about things. There's an indifference here almost. It feels like there's a bit of a disconnect, not necessarily like from your heart, but there's almost a numbness is what I'm getting. It feels numb. And I say that because look at all of the sword energy. It's all swords. It's all swords. And so it kind of makes me feel like you're iced out a little bit. Truly. It feels like you're iced out. Yeah, you're iced out. So I mean, it's not my favorite. The Five of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Seven of Swords reversed. Why is that Seven of Swords reversed? The Wheel of Fortune. I mean, Virgo, there's a huge focus on self. And I don't think it's for nothing. I think that there may be a wound that perhaps resurfaces with that Five of Pentacles that makes you feel some kind of way, that makes you feel left out, that makes you feel ghosted, that makes you feel cheap, that makes you feel broke, that makes you feel something. There's a level of insecurity with the Five of Pentacles. There's a feeling of loneliness on the Five of Pentacles. On traditional Rider-Waite, you'll see that on the Five of Pentacles, it's this woman and this, I believe it's a little boy, and they're being like locked out of a chapel. And you see like in the chapel is like warm and there's a fire going, you know, or it's heavily implicated. And it's about the two people on the outskirts, on the outside. And I think that something triggers that within you. The thing that I like is that the Queen of Pentacles is here and she's in the upright. And that Queen of Pentacles is you, earth energy, in my opinion. And so to me, this is you, yes, something is getting checked. Something is getting checked for stability, whether it is your emotions, your sense of self, your money, but you seem to be on pretty solid ground despite external circumstances. And that Seven of Swords reversed with that Wheel of Fortune tells me that there may be a higher understanding or a different way of thinking when it comes to what has been fated in your life and what has been solely in your control. And I say that because the Wheel of Fortune in the upright is about somebody who understands that the wheel just turns. There's an understanding that there's highs and there's lows, right? And sometimes there's just nothing you can do about that. And then, the Wheel of Fortune reversed can be where we are trying to force control in some way or another, when we actually find that's when we're in the least control of our circumstance. And so to me, this is more of a higher minded way of you thinking about something, even though it's not always easy. And for some of you, maybe it is loneliness, right? Maybe that's what it is. But again, you seem to be taking very good care of you. And I don't think that you need to really, at least in this moment, it doesn't feel like you really need to talk it out with anybody. It just feels like you need to be, like you need to give yourself the permission to just be you, do what you're doing, to trust in God, to trust in the universe, to trust in whatever deity you believe in, whatever, and yourself. And so there's huge lessons in what you're learning right now, and I really feel like this might have something to do with that solar south node solar eclipse in Virgo that we had in September. That's gonna last for, I think, until March or something like that. But I really feel like maybe see what was happening around that time. It happened on my birthday on the 21st. So maybe see what was happening like a week before, a week after September 21st. That might give you some insight in regards to what this is. We have the Star for your advice with the Knight of Pentacles and then the Knight of Cups. I love that. That's so beautiful. So your advice is to have hope in the action that you're taking, or have faith in the action that you're taking, and truly just have faith in general. I think that you're a lot more supported than you think that you are, but you may have not believed that due to personal circumstances and recent events. But it's telling you to take action, and it doesn't mean that you have to go full throttle like the Knight of Swords or the Knight of Wands, but in your own time, on your own time, and maybe with a little bit of caution and a lot of bit of creativity and believing in love again, and believing that you can build, believing that you can rebuild, or whatever it may be. So slow and steady kind of wins the race, but don't be afraid to lean on your creativity a little bit. A time to give rather than take. We have Taurus. So we have your earth sign brother or sister here, and then trust your path. Listen to intuition, seek direction, and embrace discovery. Answers reveal the journey within. So again, I told you that there's something that you should probably share with the world. I don't know what that is for you. And you're not obligated to, but it's telling you that it's part of your path. There's something that you're needing to heal, share, give to the collective in one way or another, right? And that's what this card is about. And look, it says new moon in Virgo. And I was talking about the solar eclipse in Virgo, which we just had, which is basically a new moon on steroids. And then we have Taurus. If some of you are doing financially well, maybe you are needing to, what is Taurus about? Finances, the money that we make. Maybe you're needing to give to charity, and then you have no idea how much it can come back. Maybe it's that you're needing to give advice about self-worth and self-value and self-love. Maybe it's something like that. And then with the trust your path, it's asking you to trust this. And it even says trust on this Taurus card as well, because for some of you, you haven't really trusted in that. But this is more about you than it is about anything else. Okay? So that's what I have for you, Virgo. You guys had a really great reading this week. Make sure you go check it out on my channel. Let's go ahead and move on to my Libras. What's up, Shelly? What's up, Selena? Hi. Aw, Jess, I love you too. What's up, underdog? Yes, if you guys want to book a super chat question, you can go ahead and click the link. It's the pinned comment in the chat, okay? Oh, love you right back, Selena. Yeah, for those of you that follow my writing channel and my writing Instagram, I'm really sorry I haven't posted in there for a while, but I have felt totally fucking blank. Well, I don't want to say totally blank because I've been working on my book, but I've just like, I don't know. I've really resonated with that reading. I've been feeling a little numb, so please forgive me and just give me a little bit of time. What's up, Enigma? All right. Let's move on to Libra. Libra. Okay, I don't like this song. Sorry, I can't do it. Can't do it, dude. Cool. Love it. Ace of Cups reversed for you this weekend, Libra. Aw, Candy. Thank you. That's so nice. Oh, I know Faye will appreciate that more than anybody. Then we have the King of Wands. Everybody hashtag Candy in the chat. Thank you, baby. King of Wands for what you don't see coming. What's up, Juanita? Hi. Yeah, it has been a while. And then your advice is the Temperance card. Okay. Well, I mean, the Ace of Cups reverse can represent a couple of different things, Libra. I mean, this can certainly represent where you're feeling a bit drained. You know, you're feeling a little drained, or it's that you're pouring all of the love that you possibly can into yourself. Maybe you're having a creative block. Maybe you're, not really interested in love right now. Maybe you were too interested in love and you actually did drain yourself. But if you're not this King of Wands here, then I feel like you got a pretty hot dude coming in, okay? Or a very hot masculine woman, whatever you're into. The Temperance here is asking you to seek balance in all things, maybe focus on spirituality, wisdom, philosophy even. I only say that because it's Sagittarius after all, okay? So let's see that Ace of Cups reversed. Ooh. Oh man, you are triggered. Libra. Who took a crap on one of your scales? Okay. Okay. All right. You're not very pleased. To me, you seem to be intentionally starving someone of your affection or your communication. But you're doing it because you're trying to get revenge on someone, or you're trying to teach somebody a lesson. That's what that looks like to me, okay? I don't know what they did. I don't know what they did. I don't know what they said, what they didn't say, but you are going to show them. That's how you're feeling. That is really how you're feeling. And it's a bit passive aggressive in the way that you're doing it. What is causing this? The Seven of Cups reversed. Well, somebody could have made a choice that you really didn't like. That could have revealed something to you that you're like, yeah, look, I think I like that. It can also be that you just feel like you got hit with a reality check about somebody. Give me more on that. The Star reversed. Ooh. The one thing that I know about Venusian people is that when the hope is lost, they can get real dirty. They can get real dirty when they want to, you know what I'm saying? So again, there's a reality check that you're getting this weekend where you're like, no hope at all. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day. Never again. Or it's something along those lines. And so because of that, you seem to be retracting your energy in a way that is intentionally spiteful, okay? I would be cautious with that. I mean, I get it. I think that we can all react in certain ways. what I would say is try to take a step back for a second, because you may act impulsively. You may end up doing something that, you're like, oh, damn it, I wish I wouldn't have done it that way. So it can be something like that. Listen, people get real scared of Scorpios or Capricorns or, it is not those people that you have to watch out for when they're pissed. I mean, yes, sometimes yes, but some of the dirtiest players I've ever seen have been Taurus, Libra, and Sagittarius. Okay. I don't know why, because they're ruled by Venus and Jupiter. I don't know why, but they can get real nasty with it. You know what I'm saying? They can get real nasty. And so I just want to say, Libra, I love you to pieces. I got my South Node in Libra. I got my Mercury in Libra, okay? Just please. I'm really sorry that someone shat on your scales. I really am. Get a Virgo to try to clean up the mess for you, okay? We got the King of Wands for what you don't see coming this weekend with the World reversed and the Nine of Wands. Well, somebody feels like they got some unfinished business with you, is what it looks like to me. And it feels like this is somebody who's trying to fight for something when it comes to you. I don't think that they have bad intentions. I just think that it is going to be unexpected. It might be one of these things where it's like, somebody finally chooses you after all of this time, maybe after they've already dated somebody else, and you're like, are you joking? It's something. And I just think that, you're flabbergasted a little bit. What's the unfinished business about? The Tower reversed. I heard settling a debt. I don't know if that's an actual financial debt or if that's emotional or something else. But I heard that in my head, so I have to say it. This person doesn't want to lose you. It seems like what they're trying to do is they're trying to avoid a shitstorm. I don't think that King of Wands is you. That King of Wands is somebody else. Could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But they seem to want to fight for something here. What are they trying to fight for? The Moon? It's almost like they're trying to stand against your own fears or paranoias. They also may be fighting for this emotionally. This person is scared of you. I feel like this person is scared of you. And so I don't know why. Gee, I wonder. This person seems to be a bit afraid of you, and I think that's why they have their boundaries really high, or they're maybe a little defensive, something along those lines. Okay, I don't think that they have bad intent, though. I really don't. But hey, I don't know. This person could be the biggest piece of crap that has ever crapped. I don't know. Okay. I'm trying to tell ya, that's your advice. Before I enter an altercation with someone, I think, there are 3 ways that I can deal with this. The first one would feel really good. I would tell this person everything that I thought about them, maybe insult their physical appearance, maybe insult their PP size, maybe insult something else that I know is really gonna get under their skin. Now that's gonna feel good in the moment, gonna feel like shit later. The second option is I could take the high road. I could say, you know what, it's all good. Moving on, blah, blah, blah. The third option is to ignore. I would take the option that you feel is going to bring you the most peace in the long term, okay, I would not react in a way where you're going to look back and be like, God damn it, why did I do that? Because I think it might come back to haunt you or kind of bite you in the butt, especially if you have a really strong conscience. Okay. It's telling you to find peace or to create it. And you guys are probably some of the best people that can do that. You are really great at harmonizing, de-escalating things in your highest vibration. And it's asking you to do what is authentically right, okay? It's not about pouring gasoline on the fire. It is not about, who's right and who's wrong per se. It's just about you doing what is right in that moment so your conscience can be clear, regardless of the relationship status between you and said person. Okay. Now I know that that's easier said than done. Okay. I get it. I have Aries in my 12th house. Sometimes I don't realize how assertive or aggressive I can be with people. I understand. But this is about a conscious awareness. And so I would pick the road that is going to bring the most peace and that is going to be the right thing. Even if this means that you need to be quiet for a minute, you need to take a walk, or maybe you ignore the entire thing. Great. Now there's somewhat of peace for both parties. But all I'm saying, Libra, is that it's asking you to do the right thing. Okay. We have the end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn, the moon, and then behind the veil. Libra, you guys always got some shit going on. I don't know what is going on. I don't know what. Okay, you guys got Venus in your sign right now. Please use it. Behind the veil says, welcome uncertainty as an opportunity for growth and be okay with not knowing. Well, that very much goes with the moon. So, the end of a type cycle approaches full moon in Capricorn. The moon hates being in Capricorn, right? Let's just call it what it is. The moon is in fall and it's Scorpio, but is certainly in detriment in Capricorn. The moon wants to love and feel and all of these things. And Capricorn is like, get fucking for real, And so I feel like what you guys need to do is, again, do what I told you to do. Sometimes certain things just don't need to be said. Never in my life have I really looked back and truly thought, you know what, I could have been meaner to that person. Now, maybe some of you have that mind frame. I don't, maybe sometimes in my worst moments, right? But I never think about, you know what, I could have been meaner to that bitch. I could have insulted this. I could have insulted that. I don't. Maybe right after when I don't say anything, I'm like, oh, I should have said this, And if I do, I regret it. I'm like, I shouldn't have said that, right? Because once someone can control your emotions, once somebody has the ability to have you come out of character or do something that is distasteful, say something, that person's your master. That person has more control over you than you have over you. And that's a hard pill to swallow, right? I get it. But I feel like for a lot of you guys, that's really kind of the lesson here. And it sucks, right? It sucks. And sometimes silence may be the best policy with this. There have been times where, somebody has come back into my life that I had, like, for instance, I had this girl, her name was actually Justice, believe it or not, right? Your major arcana, her name was actually Justice. And she teased me really, really badly in middle school. I mean, she, for no reason, I've never said anything or did anything to her. It was bizarre. And so I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to ignore that, because she could have definitely beat my ass. I just didn't understand why she wanted to, I couldn't figure it out. Later, I would say maybe 9 years later, she hit me up on my old MySpace. And she was like, I just want to apologize. I was really mean to you. And I could have done one of those three things. I could have been really mean. I could have thought about my response and been like, you know what, it's all good. Or I could have been silent. I chose to forgive. I chose to forgive and I moved on, you know. Now, sometimes it's better just to not respond at all, you know, and only you are going to be able to make that judgment call. But I would pick the path of peace. I really would, because sometimes it really is better just to not know, or maybe you want to go digging for an answer. Anyway, this reading is way too long, so I'm gonna move on. Thanks a lot, Libra. Let's go ahead and move on to my Scorpios. Happy birthday, Scorpios. It's your season, baby. I know you guys are all, you know, waking up, doing a nice slow rise out of your coffins, dusting yourself off a little bit. Okay. I know you guys are ready, getting a couple of neck cracks in, doing a few stretches. What's up, Debbie? What's up, Easy Dean? She was jealous of you. It's all good, you know. It's all good. We all get jealous sometimes, but it's on how you deal with that jealousy, you know. I don't really get jealous on my own. I only become very jealous through the possession of another. I am a Venus in Scorpio after all. That's really, nobody fucking asked, right? But that's usually when I get jealous, is when I am in partnership. And so I just found, like, you know what, if I just avoided romantic love, I would never really have that problem. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. Because when I'm alone, I'm fine. I'm like, oh my God, she's so hot. Like, I want to look like that. And then I try to figure out how to look like that, or whatever, or somebody has more money or whatever it is. That's more of a male thing, I think. But, you know, I'm like, damn, how the fuck, you know, or, you know, how can I sleep with that person? How can I sleep with her? She's really attractive, you know. Venus and Scorpio things, right? The worst. That's why I say no more love. You know, I was talking to one of the people I work for yesterday, and you know, I was like, yeah, I just, you know, I'm sick of, like, I'm sick of relationships. And she's like, yeah, but you learned so much. I didn't ask for that. I'm done with learning now. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm done now, you know, and only you can be the one that determines that. You know, if you've learned enough, then you must apply what you have learned to your next situation. Or if you don't, you will learn again. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's really all about you. Honestly. And that's also a tough pill to swallow, because it's better if I just say it's about everybody else. No. I have had the same lesson over and over again in my relationships, and it's something that now I'm giving the power back to me, because if I blame everybody else, then I put the power over there. Unfortunately, you know, you have to take accountability for how you got here, every little step, you know, to a point. Because I don't want to give the power to others for my destiny and my relationships. I have to wield it myself. Accountability is hot. Oh, it's so hot. Are you kidding me? Absolutely. Accountability is so hot. It really is. What's up, Scott? Nice to see you. Speaking of Scorpios. All right, Scorpio, let's go ahead and check it out. Oh, hold on. I gotta take my collagen. All right, Scorpio, let's check it out, shall we? 8 of Cups reversed for your energy. What you don't see coming is the Knight of Wands. Could be a Sagittarius. coming around here. Queen of Swords reversed, Libra. I'll tell you, like Libra, create the peace that you want to be in. You may also get a little triggered this weekend. You can be thinking about the past, revisiting the past in some way. Like I told, Gemini, we are in our shadow period of Mercury retrograde. And, Sagittarius and Scorpios, you guys are going to feel this quite a bit because it's going retrograde in your guys' sign. So that Eight of Cups reversed, you may be thinking a lot about the past. You may be thinking on how you settled in a certain area. You may actually settle, okay, this weekend. Maybe you go out to the bar and you have a one-night stand and you wake up and you're like, what the was I thinking? And I'm not saying that's what it is. I only say that because I see the Eight of Cups reversed and then I see the Knight of Wands. But let's go ahead and see before I talk too much. Oh, 2 8s. Very Saturnian. Eight of Pentacles, the King of Cups reversed. Well, you guys are showing up as a masculine, okay? So for my feminine Scorpios, if you got to reverse it, by all means, please feel free to do so. You are thinking about the past a lot. And I think because you're thinking about the past, it's causing you to want to master how you got here. It's kind of like what I was just talking about a little bit. But you're trying to master something. I think that for some of you, it can be that you are very focused on working on your emotional intelligence, perhaps your emotional maturity, your delivery when it comes to relationships. I don't like the King of Cups reversed. The King of Cups reversed can represent a few things. It can represent somebody who is willing to just kind of, fill somebody else's ear with a bunch of crap that's not necessarily true in order to get a sexual and or an emotional need met. However, the King of Cups reversed can also represent a lack of emotional maturity. It can represent somebody who's moody, jealous. It's quite literally scorpionic energy. All of the kings are fixed energy. And so I think that whatever that may be, you guys are working on it. You guys are trying to meet some kind of standard. You are working on yourself. You're trying to become a better person is what it looks like. I do want to see that Eight of Cups reversed. And sometimes when we are wanting to be better, we sometimes have to look to see what it is that we've done in the past, how we've gotten to where it is that we are now, so that way we can do the opposite, because maybe we don't like where we're at now emotionally, maybe we don't like where we're at financially. So I feel like you guys are doing a lot of emotional self-work, particularly maybe around boundaries, maybe not allowing other people to cross yours, or you not crossing others. Okay, so it really depends. What's that Eight of Cups reversed about? The Page of Wands. You guys may be returning to something here. You may be, you're doing your little Scorpio thing. You're doing this Scorpio thing where you fixate on something or someone, and then you try to make it work, kind of thing. Why is that King of Cups reversed? The Queen of Swords. There's a feminine energy here who's incredibly intelligent. It could be a Libra, but nonetheless, that Queen of Swords is a very intelligent woman usually. She is somebody who has great discernment. She's somebody who has been through a lot, and so she's definitely not going to allow herself to be manipulated or, being led on a wild goose chase. And I think that there's an awareness around that. It's almost as if you are trying to reach a standard that this person has advised you to reach, whether directly or indirectly. Does that make sense? Almost like inspired you to do. Some of you, it can be nothing to do with love. It can be that you are going back to some old project that you were working on. Maybe you're writing a book, maybe you're starting an Instagram page, whatever it is, and you're really busting your ass on doing it. And you may not be too focused on emotions. That can truly be the case. So you may be learning something here as well. You're definitely weeding out distractions. Like, you don't seem to be, your head is in the game with something. The Knight of Wands for what you don't see coming, with the Four of Wands and the Temperance. Wow. I like it. Double Sagittarius energy here. Very beautiful. It's almost whimsical. It's almost whimsical. I think that you guys may end up getting invited somewhere this weekend. Someone can invite you to a festival, to a party, to a wedding. You know, somebody may even visit you at your home. It's somebody who's really fun, somebody who likes to joke a lot, somebody who likes to have a good time. They don't take things too seriously. And because you're in this Eight of Pentacles energy where you're like so laser focused, right? You're like so laser focused on whatever this thing is. It seems like somebody kind of gets you out of that a little bit. And dare I say, I feel like even though in the moment you may view it as a distraction, I think it's actually going to do you some good. And I feel that way because I think it's going to level things mentally for you. Like it's almost as if this person hanging out with whomever this is, maybe it's a guy friend, maybe it's a lady friend, I don't know, but it's somebody who has a bigger, more expansive, more optimistic perspective than you do right now. And I think that's what you guys need. Now, for some of you, there can be some kind of relational harmony here. You know, you can be hanging out with somebody that you really enjoy their company. You guys are having a good time, this, that, and the third. So it can be that. But this is somebody who's bringing some kind of balance into your home life or allowing you to get out of the house a little bit and have some fun, okay? Somebody could be visiting you at your home. Maybe this person is at a distance. They come to see you. Maybe this is somebody, a friend that's trying to get you out of your house. It's really fun though. Like it's really fun. So I like this. The Queen of Swords reversed, the Four of Pentacles, and the Eight of Cups reversed. So you have the Eight of Cups reversed again. And you have the Queen of Swords. So you have the Eight of Cups reversed twice, and you have the Queen of Swords twice. I don't want to say you're beating a dead horse, Scorpio, but I would be cautious of trying to pressure someone too much, push someone too much. I would hold back a little bit, okay? There's someone around you. It looks like it's a feminine energy, but there's someone around you who may get ticked off if you push too much, okay? And so it may just be saying like, hold off for a minute, you know, take a little bit of time. So I don't know what that's about. Sorry, that was really specific. We have Show the World the Real You. We have Uranus. Okay, so that's really interesting because this is full moon in Aquarius. This is Uranus. Uranus is the co-ruler of Aquarius. So this is truly about being yourself. This is not about lying or conforming. Please reverse this if you need to. This is not about lying or trying to conform yourself to fit somebody else's need, okay? Doesn't mean that, you know, you should treat someone like crap or something like that. Of course not. That's not what I'm saying. But there's something about you needing to own your authentic nature and your sense of authenticity. It says resurrection. Shake off the past and rise again. Reinvent yourself and you will rise up from the ashes even more powerful. Well, hello, that's what you guys are literally known for. So there may be this energy that's coming this weekend with that Knight of Wands and the Four of Wands that is going to break you out of your shell a little bit. Okay, and that Four of Wands can be about that. Sometimes it can be about having some kind of breakthrough. And so to me, this is about you guys getting down to the nitty gritty of who you actually are, okay? Who you actually are, the changes that you feel like you really need to make, and the changes that you've made that are inauthentic to you. And so this is asking for a full-blown resurrection. It's asking for a full-blown Phoenix moment where the things that need to leave your life, even if it's like habits that you have, even if it's like certain personality traits or something like that that you know is not really you, this is the time to clear it out. And I feel like during this time in Scorpio season, this is a good time for you guys to hone in on who you actually are, okay? So maybe get out of the house a little bit this weekend. I feel like it'll do you some good. So if you get an invite, I would say 9 out of 10 of you should probably take it, okay? All right, Scorpio, thank you. Of course, now we will move on to Sagittarius. Not Tammy. All right, Saggy. Oh, thank you, Scott. You as well. Are you guys talking about the fake Tammy I made up in my reading? You guys suck. What's up, Cheryl? All right, Saggy, let's go ahead and see what's going on with you. Oh, God. Thank you, Amber. You guys suck. Get out of here. Sagittarius, love this. The world. Some of you guys could be planning a trip, traveling, okay, for some of you. The Three of Swords. Okay, I'm sorry. And then the Knight of Pentacles for your advice. Okay. You guys definitely need to take your time with something. There's something that you guys are needing to work on. Could be your health. Some of you may need to go back in the gym. Maybe you're needing to organize a room in your house. Right, the Knight of Pentacles is Virgo. All the Knights are mutable signs. So, you know, Virgo is about cleanliness, health, nutrition, organizing, analyzing, and slowly but surely working towards a goal. And it seems like that's what you guys are doing anyway, but it seems like you're finally finishing something. You're completing something. So maybe asking you to kind of bounce to the next thing. I don't like that Three of Swords. Definitely like a heartbreaking issue that's happening here. This could be with somebody else. So somebody else, maybe in your family or a relative or a friend or something, it may be heartbroken. So it may not necessarily have to do with you, right? Maybe your best friend Tammy knocks on your door at 3 a.m. and she's crying and she's shit-faced and she's really sad because she found out her boyfriend cheated on her or something, right? Let's hope that's not the case. The World, the Six of Pentacles. Some of you, if you're the humanitarian type, you can be doing something that's really coming back to you tenfold. Maybe you're giving away to charity or something like that. But let's see. The Ace of Swords. Wow. What's the Ace of Swords about? The Six of Swords. I'm going to be honest. It feels to me like you're helping someone. It feels like you're helping someone. And it feels good. Like it feels good. And I think that you have it to give, Sagittarius. I think that you guys have a lot to give at this time, even if it doesn't feel like it. And for some of you, you can be called to kind of be the rock for someone. You know, like I said, the world is Saturnian. And Saturn is the gift giver, but only after you have done the work. And it seems like you have. And because of that, maybe you're showing up as an authority in your family or your job or your community in some way, but you're finishing a cycle. And because you have completed this, because you have graduated, because you've gotten to this point in your life that has been such a long time coming, this weekend is going to give you some really big revelations. And I think that you guys are being very giving of either your finances, your time, your energy, your advice, your friendship. And you really do have it to give. You really do. And you can be having some clarity maybe around a financial situation. You can be having a talk with somebody else around money in general, or you could be giving advice to somebody on how to move on from a situation. I like that 2 6s are here. And I like that an ace is here as well, because that's usually really good news. And I think that some of you maybe have some good news to share with another person regarding finances. But it seems like because you're doing something for someone else, it's making you feel so good. Some of the most generous people I have ever met in my life have been Sagittariuses. My mom, when she has it, my mom's a Sag and so is my best friend. I actually met my best friend because he was a huge supporter of my old channel back in the day. He was a huge financial contributor to my channel, and I was so grateful for him. We have matching tattoos. I still love him so much. And my mom is also incredibly generous, also Sagittarians. And, you know, those two have really genuinely changed my life in ways that, you know, I couldn't at the time. And so to me, I think that there's something here about that. And in turn, it's making you feel good. So that Three of Swords for what you don't see coming with the Seven of Pentacles and the Chariot. This doesn't feel like you. This doesn't feel like you, that Three of Swords. There could be somebody in your life where an investment is not working out. Something that they've been invested in for a while may not be panning out, and they're having a hard time kind of, what is the word? They're having a hard time pivoting in a way, and you seem to be helping direct them. It seems like you're helping somebody, like you're for instance, you know, maybe somebody is like, oh God, you know, this job really isn't working out, and God, I just invested so much time and so many years of my life, and you know, and they're just really sad about it, and you're like, oh my God, like I have an idea here, let me help you out. You know, it kind of feels like you're helping somebody, and maybe that's not like the funnest news to hear, but it feels like you're helping somebody. What's that Three of Swords about? Yeah, the Five of Pentacles reverse. You're helping somebody. You're helping somebody out of a crappy situation. You know, maybe their car breaks down and you're like, you know what? You can use my second car that I have, like no harm, no foul. You know, it's something like this. So I'm really not mad at it. For others of you, if you have been heartbroken, if you did get your heart broken, there could be an opportunity to travel, okay? Which I know that's your guys' fucking language right there, your favorite word, right? But you guys can be getting some kind of traveling opportunity, maybe going on a road trip, something like that, to kind of get out of your head a little bit. So we have the Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Wands reversed, and the Ace of Cups reversed for your advice. What are you asking them to do? The King of Pentacles. It's asking you to focus on your finances. Okay, it's asking you to progress in regards to your financial situation or some kind of business or some kind of job. Okay, you may have lost your spark or your love for something. That's okay. That happens sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, I really don't want to read tarot today. Maybe I don't want to read tarot for a month and I just won't show up on my lives for a month. Okay, you know, it happens. You know what I'm saying? But it's asking you to try to find new ways to inspire yourself again. Find new ways to figure out why you fell in love with something in the first place, something that you've been working on, okay? Because it feels like maybe you are feeling a bit uninspired or a little bit drained, and that's okay. That happens sometimes. Like, for instance, like sometimes I don't want to do tarot, you know, and I'm like, oh God, you know, and I kind of lose my love for it. And so I find that if I bring myself back into, you know, everything that tarot has to do with, like meditation or, you know, spirituality in general, if I immerse myself back in that a little bit, I can kind of get re-inspired, especially like when I meditate or maybe I switch up the kind of readings that I'm doing, you know, and sometimes that's what it takes. It just takes a little bit of a pivot. It takes a little bit of a change. And so for some of you, that can be what you're needing to do with something, okay? It's time to release negativity. the South Node, okay? And then emerging dawn. Trust that every ending is another beginning coming in disguise. Okay. What's the negativity that they need to release? The Knight of Wands reversed. If there's been somebody in your life that has been incredibly inconsistent, trying to get your attention in like low vibrational ways that are just unattractive or annoying, it may be time to let that person go. Okay, it may be time to call it a day with whomever that is, and be at peace with that, and understand that that is allowing for more space in your life. Because I think that whatever this is, this in and out, this inconsistency of whomever or whatever this is not, it's probably part of the thing that's killing your passion and your energy, to be fair. And you're needing to trust. You're needing to trust where that ending will take you. Okay. All right, Saji, thank you. What's up, D-Zilla? Oops. All right, we're going to need to shuffle these really quick. And then we're moving on to Capricorn. You're welcome, Enigma. What's up, audiobooks? Capricorn Venus. My mom, my daughter, and my bestie are all Venus and Capricorns. What's up, Donna? Nice to see you. Thank you. I missed you as well. Last shuffle. Oh my God. I know that nobody cares, but I made my own oat milk last night. So excited, honestly. 6th House Stellium delights. Thanks, underdog. I was literally so excited. Also, you guys, if you want the new moon in Libra reading for you personally, you can go ahead and check it out on that link over there that is pinned to the chat section. Okay. Kind of like I did for the full moon in Aries. All right, let's see. It was a little creamy though. We definitely care, thanks. I was thinking about making a video about it because I'm a big dork. I made almond milk only. I wanted to do that, but I read that it's better to peel the almond skin off, and I'm like, ugh, that's so time consuming, but if anyone can do it, a Virgo can. All right, Capricorn, let's see. Ooh, I like it. The Page of Wands in your energy, the 9 of Wands reversed for what you don't see coming, and then the 3 of Wands reversed for your advice, okay? So, I mean, the Page of Wands is all about starting something new, even if you're not super confident in whatever that thing is. Don't give up too quickly, is what I want to say, because you may get like imposter syndrome or get really frustrated because something is maybe taking too long. Just give it time, okay, for some of you. Let's see what that Page of Wands is about. The Hierophant, okay. The Page of Cups reversed. Why is that Page of Cups reversed? The Hermit. Interesting. You guys may be pursuing a new relationship with that Page of Wands to that Hierophant. The Page of Wands is when we're venturing out on something new. And what we're really looking for is to become the King or the Queen of Wands, right? A leader. We're looking to become a leader in our own right. We are trying to find the confidence again, like I said, on our way. And even though we don't necessarily have it with the Page of Wands, we're going to push through anyway. Well, in regards to what? In regards to the Hierophant. Can the Hierophant represent committed relationships? Absolutely. That can certainly be something that you are venturing out on. For some of you, you are looking to perhaps become a leader in some kind of religious or spiritual community. Maybe you are looking to become a mentor. Maybe you are seeking out a mentor of some sort. So this can be where you're either seeking this out or you are trying to become said thing yourself. You are also looking to be very grounded in regards to who you are as a person. I'm not a big fan of the Page of Cups reversed, just because the Page of Cups reversed can represent where we are falling victim to something, or we're telling ourselves that we are a victim. This can be also where we are manipulating a situation, or it can be that the way that we're feeling is making us feel humbled. The Page of Cups reversed can be where we're not really willing to open up emotionally yet, and it's because of the Hermit. So you can still feel like you're not ready to open up emotionally completely to someone. You can still feel like there's this kind of dark night of the soul that you're going on that has a lot to do with your emotions. So let's say that you are trying to seek out a relationship. Maybe you're not super confident yet, but you are seeking out a committed relationship or you're pursuing one, but you're not totally open yet to being vulnerable. And that can be because of a fear. It can also be because of a fear of rejection. We have to remember that the Hermit, the whole reason that the Hermit is really on this journey, or at least a very big part of it, is that the Hermit, the person on the Hermit card, has been seeking something external from themselves, has been seeking maybe external validation or something that they believe is outside of them, when really they find at the end of the journey, I've had it the whole time, you know? And so there's some level of humility about that here. So, I mean, it's not like bad or anything. You are learning a lot though. Especially maybe in regards to your values, your belief systems, things like that. The Nine of Wands reversed for what you don't see coming. The Nine of Wands reversed, the Death reversed, and the Emperor. Wow. What is this Emperor's intention with Capricorn? The Eight of Swords. One more. It almost feels like somebody is asking you to give up on something. Now this is very specific. I know this is going to, you know, resonate with like one of you, but it's like somebody is asking you to give up on something, to give up on an old way of doing something, a way of thinking. Their intention is to get you to make a choice. about harnessing your own personal power, about getting you to maybe step out of your comfort zone, to channel your talents, gifts, skills, and abilities in some way. It almost feels like this person is a mentor of some sort, or your boss, or something. But they're asking you to make a decision on what your intention is here with something. What's that death reversed? The Lovers reversed. This person may be asking you to let go of a relationship, or they may feel like you're putting off, once again, making some kind of decision that you really need to make. And I don't think this person is fucking around, if I'm going to be honest. It feels like they're very serious with whatever this is. Like they're very adamant on, like, and it almost feels as though this person has some level of authority over you. It almost feels like, so this is the best example I can come up with, okay? It almost feels like you're at work and all of a sudden your boss is like, hey, you know, I really need you to start doing this. I really need you to start doing that. And you're like, maybe you're annoyed by it or something, right? You're like, oh God, why is my boss up my ass? Why is he or she up my ass so much? And then you find out later that they're planning on leaving the company, but what they were trying to do is they were trying to push you into like a leadership position or something like that. You know, maybe you're like a waiter or a waitress at a job, and you know, they're trying to get you to, you know, oh, go ahead, take my card. Why don't you go, you know, take that item off of Carol's receipt for her table 3 or whatever. And you know, you're like, wow, why is he or she, why is my boss giving me the managerial card? And you don't realize that they're trying to kind of, maybe this isn't the right word for it, but they're trying to like groom you to become better so you can become better, because maybe they're like leaving, or it feels like something like that. So they're trying to get you to let go of an old way that you've been doing something so you can kind of harness your own power, because they see some kind of potential in you. That's what that feels like to me. You know, maybe it's a partner. I don't know. It's like this person is trying to get you to see that you have the power to decide for yourself, that you're not in this like stuck situation that you think that you are. And maybe it's your tarot reader and they're like, get your head out of your ass. You don't have to, you know, I don't know, whatever. All right, the 3 of Wands reversed with the Star reversed and the Knight of Swords reversed. This to me is about believing in yourself and having faith that you can do something, and actually taking decisive action instead of getting frustrated and then being like, oh, well, you know, maybe I can't do it. And it's like, yeah, you can do it if you want to do it. So that's what it's kind of saying. We have step out of your comfort zone. I'm telling you, I told you, Venus, and then desert of isolation. Traverse the desolate spaces of solitude to uncover reflections and resilient survival. All right, well, that's a little dramatic. So maybe you guys have been in solitude for a while, you know, maybe you guys have been isolating for a while, something of that nature. And being that Venus is here, I'm wondering if it's asking you to step out of your comfort zone when it comes to relationships, when it comes to one-on-one handlings, things like that. Do the thing that scares the shit out of you when it comes to knowing what you're worth, you know, maybe charging a little bit higher for your prices, you know, even though you may doubt it or whatever. You'll follow suit. Like you'll, you know, if it's about like raising your prices, for instance, because Venus can be about money. Let's say you do raise your prices. Now you don't realize it, but your mind is going to shift to having to become that vibrational match to that price. Do you see what I'm saying? So like, you know, anyway, I'm not going to get into detail about that, but there's something that you're needing to do in regards to that. Okay. So that's what I have for you, Capricorn. up, Gabby? You're welcome. Are people with their moon sign in Virgo similar to people with their sun sign in Virgo? I mean, to a point, but I mean, the sun is more masculine, the moon is more feminine. The sun is about our soul's purpose. You know, it's what we want to be known for, it's how we want to be seen. The moon can be a representation of our mother, and the sun can be even a representation of our father. Some people say Saturn. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. That's more like the grandfather, you know. But the moon can be about the relationship that we have with our mother. The moon can represent our mother as an archetype. You know, the moon can also represent how we deal with our stress, how we comfort ourselves. So, you know, the sun in Virgo wants to be known for being intelligent, organized, put together, even though you'll find that a lot of Virgos really are not. They are probably the biggest messes, right? It takes a lot of energy, the sun, to try to be that perfect. You know, and sometimes you can see Virgo people who have OCD about certain things. But the sun wants to be known for whatever sign it's in. It wants to act that sign out, and it wants to be known for the highest vibration of that sign most of the time. The moon is how we are comforting ourselves. It's more private. So you'll see like moon and Virgos when they're really stressed out, they will, you know, pick at their face in the mirror, or they will get super OCD about their countertops, and they're, you know, they'll pull out all of the autumn clothes and they'll organize everything, and they'll da. So yes, similar traits, but the sun is more the masculine manifestation of the sign, where the moon is, you know, generally the more feminine. And you can see moon and Virgo people with how they, like, the moon can be how you care for others, how you nurture others. A lot of these people can be seen as like nurses, givers. You know, they will do shit like cook you the chicken noodle soup when you're sick, and then they're going to clean your space while you're ill, and, you know, they're going to do like acts of service, right? So it's similar, but it's not. I'm very OCD. Yeah, you know, I have a 6th house stellium. I had OCD in the way where I wasn't like a super OCD about cleanliness, but I was OCD about me. I was OCD about my appearance, Libra 6th house. You know, I have the Sun, Mercury, South Node, part of Fortune. I have Pluto there, and I go by Placidus. I don't go by whole sign. I only do that if I'm doing like astrology readings for the public or something. But I can be very OCD about my skin, my hair, my body, you know, the things that I'm putting in my body. And Virgos are very similar. So the 6th house has correlations with Virgo. Anyway, I could talk about this shit all day, which I'm not going to do. Let's go ahead and move on to Aquarius. You know what I do hate though? I really hate the 7th house. I hate. Like I have a true, honest to God hate for the 7th house. And the reason being, I have Pluto conjunct my descendant, conjunct Venus in my 7th house. I have Saturn in my 7th house, okay? And every time like a planet enters my 1st house, let's say it's Venus, right? Let's say it's Venus, and it's like, oh yeah, I get to feel beautiful, but it's going to oppose that Pluto. Someone's going to have a problem with it. Someone's going to, you know, be jealous, or someone's going to stalk me, or somebody's, you know, it's like you can't ever enjoy it, you know, because it's like somebody's wanting to take it from you. That's what it feels like. I hate the 7th house. I absolutely hate it. You know, I really do. You're welcome, Enigma. What's up, Angel? How are you? I hate it. I hate it so much. I have my moon in my 1st house, and it opposes Venus, and I just can't fucking enjoy myself. Somebody's always trying to pick at me, or they're trying to take something, or they're stalking me, or they're being weird. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, get out! I hate the 7th house. I'm sorry you go through that, Miss V. Well, there's a reason why my chart is like that, and that's okay. You know, we all have our own paths. So I'm not a victim by any means. Tammy is the 7th. Tammy is the fucking 7th house, dude. All right, so let's move on to Aquarius. We have Hierophant. We have your fixed sign buddy Taurus here. What you don't see coming is the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, Taurus again, Saturn and Taurus. Then we have the Strength reverse. Look at all this fixed energy here. Okay. There may be something this weekend that's requiring a bit more confidence from you, Aquarius, this weekend. You know, it may also be asking that you hold back, maybe needing to focus on a little bit of resistance before you totally jump into something, or maybe asking you to let go as well. I like the Hierophant here in your energy. You know, it's very spiritual. It's very, you know, about our morals, our values. It's very grounded. Seven of Pentacles, there can be something that you have the opportunity to invest in. The Devil. Okay. Wow. And the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Lots of earth energy. I want you guys to be cautious, okay? You guys are kind of giving me like Virgo energy a little bit, like the shadow side, where it's like, you know, everything's good, everything's kind of stable or whatever, right? And then you get into this shadow part of yourself, okay, where it's like you're aligned. First, you're aligned, you're grounded, everything's good, right? You have a solid sense of self this weekend, and then something happens. That mind, that nitpicky energy, that insecurity that you have seems to come up and rear its ugly head. And then you start to become incredibly overcritical of yourself, of another person, etc. And it's really going to bring you down. I really think it's more so about your mindset this weekend. Stop being so hard on yourself with something, because I feel like Aquarius, some of you really are doing that. Now, I do want to see that Devil. What is that Devil about? The Ten of Cups reversed. Oh, man. Okay. There could be a relationship that it's like you're committed, you're there, but you can be very fixated on the fact that you don't really feel emotionally supported. And maybe it's a family relationship. Maybe it's a romantic relationship, maybe a romantic relationship from the past, but it's like you're there, you're grounded in who you are, you know who you are. But then it's like the shadows come knocking and you really get in this very negative mindset about yourself. And I just want to say, try to be kind to yourself this weekend, because you can find that your mentality becomes quite heavy. You know, having all that Saturn energy there can be a little bit difficult, especially when it comes to the Ten of Cups reversed. Again, you can feel very unsupported. So why is that Queen of Pentacles reversed? The Two of Swords reversed. It's like you're focusing on the wrong thing. Like, and that's very easy to do, especially if you feel like somebody else has been very critical of you, or you're second guessing yourself, or whatever it may be. And you know, then it almost becomes like, once somebody points something out, it's almost hard for you not to fixate on said thing. And you know, let's be honest, fixed placements do that better than anybody, right? And so I want you to try to keep your focus on something else, if you can. Just because somebody does not support you or support your beliefs doesn't mean that they're invalid. Just because maybe you feel like somebody can't love you back, that is no reflection of your worth or your capacity to love. Sometimes things just don't work out, or, you know, and it's okay. It's okay to feel sad about things, but try not to internalize that and make it about you, you know, like make it about like believing whatever shitty thing they say about you or whatever it is. Okay. I would definitely lean on your religion or your spirituality or whatever it is, some grounding practices, you know, go touch some grass, you know what I'm saying? The Seven of Pentacles for what you don't see coming. The Seven of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles reverse. I actually love this. I love this because for me, it shows me that you are likely getting an opportunity to invest more in yourself, to take better care of yourself. You may also be able to invest in an opportunity that is going to give you some kind of very fortuitous return on something financial. But it may also require that you drop something else in turn. So, you know, maybe you are working 2 jobs and one job really isn't paying much, but this other job decides to give you a promotion. They're like, we really want to see you go through the ranks, etc. But it's going to require more of your time, so you have to kind of quit this other job. Not telling you to quit your job, okay? I'm just telling you that there's an opportunity here that is going to be very beneficial for you this weekend, and it may mean that you have to drop something else. It can be something in regards to your appearance, in regards to just enjoying your life, okay? So you could be a lot more invested in that. And because of that, you can be dropping something else that's kind of driving you a little bit crazy and deciding to focus more on yourself. Your advice, strength reversed, 6 of Wands, and the 10 of Swords. This is telling you that you don't need confirmation from anyone else to be successful. You don't need somebody to give you permission to start your YouTube channel. You don't need somebody to tell you you're beautiful in order for you to know it. Is it nice to hear? Absolutely. But just because someone else isn't validating that or supporting that doesn't mean that that you're not worthy. Do you see what I'm saying? So again, be cautious of internalizing things this weekend. Conclusions are within reach. Speaking of house 7, we were just talking about that. How funny. And then we have highest good. Embrace the journey with openness, trusting in the universe to lead you toward your greatest fulfillment. So, you know, in regards to the people that you associate with, we were just talking about house 7, right? I was just talking about this. You can rewind it a little bit beforehand, Aquarius, where I was talking about how much I despise house 7. I despise house 7 because if you have anything going through your first house and there are other planets that are in the 7th house, it feels like you can't even enjoy whatever planets are going through your first house, right? And so if you have people in your life that make you feel like that make you feel like the first sense of success or enlightenment that you get, or you get a beauty treatment and you feel like, you know, they're just dogging on you, or they're unappreciative, or, you know, they're trying to make you feel bad. It's like, you don't really need those people in your life. So this may be asking you to kind of weed those individuals out. Okay. So that is what I have for you, Aquarius. Alrighty. Give me 1 second. I have plenty of water. I really have to pee. I've been like holding it in, honestly. So I just gotta pee real quick and I'll be right back. You guys get to see me in my little sweatpants, okay? Alrighty. Okay. Oh, I love him. All right, Pisces. Pisces, your energy, the King of Swords for this weekend. So if you're a feminine Pisces, this may be reversed. The Ten of Cups reversed for what you don't see coming, and then the Chariot reversed for your advice. I mean, you seem to be pretty in the clear, pretty decisive, but there could be some fear that is latched onto something here. Let's see. King of Swords, King of Pentacles, wow. The Page of Swords reverse. Why is the Page of Swords in reverse? Eight of Wands. Well, I like that there are two kings here. Halfway to an emperor, four kings equate to an emperor. It feels like you're very grounded in reality. You're making proper financial decisions, business decisions. You may be meeting with someone this weekend in regards to business, or maybe with a lawyer for some of you. The Page of Swords reversed is there, and what's clarifying it is the Eight of Wands. There may be something that you're assuming based on what somebody else is saying that I don't think is necessarily true. What I would do, especially because we're in shadow right now with Mercury retrograde, I would double check contracts, what somebody else meant in their email, etc., before kind of moving forward with something, because I do think your lack of information or assuming something may lead you in the wrong direction. So again, I love the energy of the King of Swords and the King of Pentacles, very grounded in your mentality, making the right decisions, making making logical decisions, I'll say. It seems like you're doing pretty well financially, specifically this weekend. Okay, I don't know about the rest of the year or anything. But again, just fact check everything and don't assume what somebody means. Okay, I would ask more questions. This feels pretty or to the point. Okay. The Ten of Cups reversed with the Two of Cups and the Strength card, Pisces. So, I mean, to me, you could feel like you're kind of on the rocks a little bit with someone. You can feel like you keep trying to make something work, but it's just not. You guys are having a hard time emotionally supporting the other person. Maybe you and your spouse or your partner are kind of on the fritz a little bit, or maybe there's an awkward family situation kind of happening. The good news is that this connection or these connections are grounded in an understanding and a respect, in my opinion, of one another. The Two of Cups is when we have a mutual understanding. We understand that we care about the other person, even though there may be this like disagreement, or maybe we're not feeling super fulfilled in the moment. There's still a love. There's still a love. There's still a connection. There's still a holding on, because we're confident in the connection that we have, despite external forces that may be. The Chariot reversed, the King of Wands, and the Chariot in the upright. Wow. Well, there's the third king that we have here. So you have the logistics in order, you have the logical mind frame, you have the fairness down, you're stable, you're being generous with your time, your energy, your money, whatever it is, making the proper business decisions. Now it's just saying a little bit of confidence, a little bit of action is needed. There may be some fear, some hesitation in regards to something that you're wanting to take action on. It could be in regards to an entrepreneurial endeavor. Maybe it is in regards to a relationship. It's asking you not to hold yourself back. It's asking you to be confident in what it is that you're doing and go ahead and go for it, honestly. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty simple. Bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. Then we have Chiron. And then we have fresh ideas. Okay. Stay open-minded, inviting new perspectives to enrich your journey and spark creative solution. Well, I feel like you're doing that anyway, but I do feel like there maybe is a more creative solution that you can have to whatever this may be, right? Like maybe you're bringing some really great ideas to the table, you know how to stabilize it, but maybe you need to bring a little creativity, a little bit of spark, a little bit of razzle dazzle to a situation. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to relationships in your life, it's asking you to show up in love. You don't have to be fully healed. You don't have to be perfect, but there is a wound here. There is a wound in regards to you, this person, other people, and it's asking you to be okay, to be okay knowing that that is there, and you can still heal something regardless of even in the knowing that you both are wounded from a situation. So it's asking you to show up in love in the best way that you can, as corny as that sounds, Pisces. All right. Alrighty. Let's move on to super chat questions. Two more shuffles. All right, super chatter number one. All right, let me see what this person is thinking of when it comes to you. The star reversed. He seems to have lost a little bit of faith in this, a little bit of hope. He could feel as well like there's something either unhealed within him or unhealed between the both of you, which could be causing the lack of hope or faith. There seems to be some confusion on his side as well. He can be feeling like he needs to drop this because things have maybe got a little bit too chaotic, or he's lost the faith because he feels like this is just something that he can't really handle because of chaos, because of something that transpired between the two of you that caused him to lose some kind of hope in a situation. The Knight of Wands, he's still sexually attracted, so there's that, right? There's still a sexual attraction. There's still this energy of maybe even, maybe I should go out with her. Maybe I should take her out. Maybe we should have some fun. But I feel like the intent is more so for a good time, not necessarily a long time, if he does decide to take action. Why he's not communicating: Ace of Cups reverse, the Moon reversed. He may be holding back his feelings because he's afraid that you're going to dig about some kind of truth, or you're going to have a lot of questions. He may feel like you have some things that you want to express emotionally that he doesn't necessarily want to deal with right now. The Sun reverse. It could be an ego thing, if I'm going to be honest with you, number one. It could be an ego thing that he's about. It could be a little bit of pride. That moon reversed and that Sun reversed is pretty telling, though. I think that there's a little bit of a fear that he has around revealing something about himself, or you revealing something to him. And that makes him feel like a bit of a turtle trying to go into its shell a little bit. So it feels like he's not super optimistic about the situation as well. So let's see what your advice is. A new start is coming. House 12. Take great care. It says, nurture yourself, prioritize well-being, and tread gently on your journey ahead. What is the new start? The Queen of Cups. I feel like somebody new is coming in anyway. if I'm going to be totally honest with you, number one, I feel like somebody new is coming in anyway, and somebody that it's going to feel like it's mutual, or it's going to be mutual rather. The Queen of Cups isn't just about one person being in love. It's about a mutual connection that is mutually nurturing for both parties. And House 12 can be about where we need to spend some time alone, where we need to focus on our mental health, where we need to focus on our creativity, meditation, things of that nature. And this can also be our blind spot. It can be things that we don't realize about ourselves. And it can be asking you to dive a little bit deeper in regards to what that is. And after you do, you'll come out quite a bit more refreshed than prior to this reading or whatever, okay? So it is asking you to prioritize your well-being and put yourself first, because there is a new start coming, but you want to be prepared for this new start. You don't want to be like, not saying that this is what it is, but you don't want to be a blubbering mess over somebody else, especially if somebody new is coming in. Not that you have to be perfect, not that you have to be perfectly healed. Nobody really is when they enter a new relationship. Nobody is fully healed, but there are some things that you may want to work on in order to be prepared for this new start that you're clearly going to have, okay? And you have to remember, because you're a Pisces, you just had that lunar eclipse in September, okay? And I feel like you need to take a look to see what was going on astrologically for you during that time, because I'm kind of feeling like there's something about that. Okay, so maybe see what was happening a week before, a week after that lunar eclipse in Pisces. Thanks a lot, number one. Number two. Okay, let me see. Three of Cups reversed. You may run into a little bit of trouble, honestly, and it will be more so because of external circumstances regarding other people. So, for instance, if you're trying to successfully switch, it may be that maybe somebody's trying to stop you, or maybe somebody is trying to take something that you have. So I'm not saying it's impossible, but I think it will be difficult because of some either gossip, rumors, drama that you'll run into, or people who are maybe some fair weather friends. Honestly, how can she get to that point? The Three of Pentacles, okay? Maybe it's the lack of relationships or connections, if I'm going to be honest, okay? Maybe that's what it is. And I say that because I see the Three of Cups reversed is why it wouldn't, and the Three of Pentacles in the upright is why it would. So the Three of Pentacles is how you're going to do it. The Three of Pentacles is about working together with other people on a team in order to achieve your required result. So for instance, right, let's say that you're like, well, you know what? I want to be a tarot reader, but I want to move up fairly quickly or something. Well, maybe it is about, I don't know, investing in some marketing, or in maybe compensating a micro influencer to promote your channel, or to collaborate with other people in order to get achieved results. So the Three of Pentacles can also be about sometimes finding a piece of information that you didn't realize that you needed, or that you needed, but you're finding it from someone that was least expected. So somebody who you may have felt like had less of an influence, or that had that was maybe your, what is it called? what is it called? Not your inferior, someone who gets paid less than you, right? So basically what I'm saying is that there is information that you need in places that you don't expect or from people that you don't expect. Basically what I'm saying is collaboration, okay? All right, thank you so much, number 2. Then we have number 3. Okay, thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards you. Let me see. Okay. Intentions. So the high priestess for this person's thoughts and feelings about you. So the high priestess, when this shows up in somebody's feelings about another person, this person can feel spiritually connected to you. This can be somebody who finds you very desirable. The high priestess can be the desirable, it's usually a woman or a man, in this case, a woman. I would imagine, well, I guess I don't know what your gender is. But this person feels like you're very desirable. Maybe there's a little bit of mystery to you. There's something very, I'm not trying to be gross, but there's something very sexually desirable about you to this person. And so this is somebody who feels like they are not undecided about you. They're very well aware of the potential of said connection, because you think about the high priestess in traditional Rider-Waite tarot, she does not have a roof over her head, which is symbolic of the sky is the limit, right? Very high potential. And so I feel like that's what this person feels with you specifically. They may not be telling you everything. I mean, the high priestess is quite secretive. It's very quiet about what they know, how they feel. For some reason, this person may feel the need to hold those things back from you. This person's intentions with you, the 9 of Cups and the 10 of Wands reversed. I mean, it's not the worst energy in the world. I mean, I think that this is somebody who's very self-focused. They're very interested in getting what it is that they want emotionally to be able to feel fulfilled within self. And so it doesn't necessarily mean they don't care about you or anything like that, but it can be a bit self-serving, okay, at times. And I think as well, they don't want to bite off more than they can chew. This is somebody that wants things to be easy, you know, they don't want to take on too much. And so I think that they find you very desirable. They're very concerned with getting what it is that they want from you, not in like a malicious way, just in a like a, you know, I really want to sleep with, you know, number 3 or whatever. Maybe it's deeper than that. It is Jupiter and Pisces, so it can be very compassionate and kind. But they definitely don't want to make things harder than they need to be, I think, whatever that means for you guys. Thank you, number 3. Then we have number 4. Oh, how cute. Oh my God, that's so funny. Okay, I love that. Love that I can inspire you. Okay, let's see here. All right, let's see. Show me the energy of number 4 for November, just to get a general consensus. The World reverse and the Magician in reverse for your energy. I would be careful of any kind of self-doubt this month. You may believe that you don't have what it takes to complete something, or you may feel like you are missing something. While that may be true to a point, it's basically telling you that you do have what it takes to be able to finish this thing to completion or see something to the end. So be cautious of the way that you're thinking about things and any kind of self-doubt that may come up. There is something that's going to take some hard work and dedication. It's definitely not going to be a cakewalk by any means, but you can certainly do it. There may be somebody here who starts to avoid you a little bit because they don't want to bring up some kind of past hurt. They may be trying to avoid you specifically. Or it can be somebody who is hiding that they're not really over something, okay? Because I asked what's happening external from you, but that still has to do with you. And that's what I got with that 7 of Swords and that 3 of Swords reverse. So if the Seven of Swords is kind of like somebody external from you, it feels like somebody may be hiding something. They may be avoiding something. Well, hiding or avoiding what? The Three of Swords reversed. Repeating some kind of heartbreaking situation or some kind of painful situation that had something to do with you. Okay, and so they may not want to talk about it. They may be feeling very protective over themselves in some way. Maybe you are in a conversation with this person, but you feel like they're being like a bit of a steel trap. Okay. So I don't know what that is. Thank you. And then we have number 5. Okay, let's see. So the issue, if I'm going to be honest, is with the feminine knowing her worth. The Empress reversed is a feminine energy who doesn't realize how beautiful she is, how creative she is, how wonderful she is, that she's worthy of love and she doesn't need to go chasing after it. And so the Empress reverse can be somebody who's like doing too much when really they don't need to. And they don't realize that they don't need to. And usually the Empress is reversed because she has maybe had a string of relationships or a relationship that maybe has treated her very badly and has made her question her worth or something like that. She has a hard time just letting things come to her, and she feels like she has to force things. And so whoever that is, that may be where the issue is. There's more so a focus on a sense of self when it comes to this relationship than it does togetherness. And I think that's where togetherness is the most successful, is when we can find that level of independence and self-assuredness within self. And then we can be whole to come together with another. So it's not impossible, but it's really up to whomever the feminine is to understand her worth and to not feel like she has to go chasing anyone down or to force anything that shouldn't be forced. Okay. Thank you, number 5. Number 6. Okay. Businesses and finance in the near future, let's just say up until the end of this year. The Hermit. There can be some realizations that you're having around who you are, how you make money. It can feel a little humbling, if I'm going to be honest with you. Now, Hermit is an earth sign, so I don't feel like it's totally terrible, but I think what you're probably going to end up doing this year is thinking a lot more about you, the way that you handle finances. Like, the way that I can relate this to money and finances with the Hermit is like, the Hermit is looking for something outside of self, right? So this can be like, maybe we are therapeutic shoppers, okay? And we decide that when we're feeling bad about ourselves, that we're gonna go and shop because that's gonna make us feel good in the moment, when really that is doing more harm than good. And so there may be some realizations that you have this year around business, finance, or how you handle money in general. The 2 of Cups, that's good. I get another one here. The 8 of Pentacles. I really want to say this year, when it comes to maybe gaining advice or increasing finances and increasing productivity, don't be afraid to lean on your relationships and allow your relationships to give you advice, even if it's coworkers. Because I really like that 8 of Pentacles there, because it tells me that because maybe you're emotionally connected with someone, it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be totally platonic. It can be a work relationship. But because of these relationships in your life, you seem to be doing a better job than you have been for the rest of this year. You seem to be raising the standard for yourself. You're mastering something. You're really working on something that seems to be very promising. You're also weeding out a lot of the distractions. So what I want to say is keep going with that. But also because of that Hermit and that Eight of Pentacles, that's kind of sandwiching that Two of Cups. Again, that Eight of Pentacles and that Hermit card, those are very solo energies. This is when we're weeding out any of the distractions, and that's good sometimes, but at the same time, don't be afraid to lean on your relationships or your one-on-ones to be able to give you a little bit more confidence or encouragement in some way, because I feel like it's going to be about a lot of people that are going to put you in the right mindset in some way, if that makes sense. The Temperance, the Devil reversed, I love that. And the King of Wands reversed. Well, the Temperance for business and finances, this means with the Temperance card that something that maybe you thought was impossible to create or that you thought was impossible to make, specifically around money, actually is possible. And the thing about the Temperance is it's about, keeping one foot in the water. So, allowing ourselves to be mutable, malleable when it comes to different money-making opportunities, finding new creative ways to make money or to deal with our business or our finance or our if you have like an entrepreneurial business or something like that. But on the Temperance card, the angel on the Temperance card also has one foot on the ground as well. So we're grounded in the way that we create opportunities for ourselves, right? We're not just running amok. That Devil reversed with that King of Wands reversed. If this King of Wands reversed is not you, you may start to realize that somebody in your life is actually a drain in regards to your maybe work-life balance. Maybe there's somebody who's spending your money that shouldn't be. It can also be you, where you're allowing things like your ego to get in the way of you making more money. So, for instance, I'm not saying that this is what it is, okay? But let's say that somebody is wanting to collaborate with you on a project, okay? But you feel like they just don't pay enough, and totally valid, right? But you may not realize that this could actually lead to something way bigger than you realize. And so that Temperance energy, it's asking you to be malleable. It's asking you to kind of go with the current and go with the flow while still keeping your foot on the ground. So maybe some compromise is needed. But don't be afraid to put a little bit of optimism in regards to your business and your finances, because I think it's going to take you a long way. What do you not see coming or that's being hidden from you? Let me see. If you are interested in love, you could be faced with an opportunity. Seven of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Lovers reversed. You could be faced with an opportunity that may seem promising. But again, like I was telling you, with your foot on the ground while still being open to opportunities, being grounded can also be about using discernment, especially when it comes to opportunities that may be made available to you. It may be asking you, does this person actually align with my values, goals for the future, or am I selling myself short here? And so when I asked what the guidance is, I got the Eight of Cups. So if something seems too good to be true in regards to like a love relationship, okay, if that's something that you're interested in, then it probably is, okay? Your commitment is being tested. House 5, embrace potential. Wow. Explore an abundance of opportunities with an open mind. Answers reveal limitless horizons for your journey. Wow. House 5 can be about entrepreneurship, self-expression, creativity, joy, all of those things, what your heart wants. And your commitment is being tested in regards to those things. And I don't know if this is about business. I don't know if this is about a love relationship. Quite frankly, it can be about both. But it's telling you, are you more committed to what somebody else wants than you are to what your heart wants? Are you perhaps limiting your sense of identity, creative self-expression, because of another? It's asking you to embrace your heart's potential. It's asking you to embrace creativity, even leadership. You know, house 5 is a natural Leo house. You know, Leos tend to be things like politicians. I'm not telling you to do that. Politicians, actors, actresses, entrepreneurs, right? Leaders in some way. Sometimes it can be people who are really good with children, right? Like my dad, he's a Leo moon, a Leo sun, and he teaches autistic children at school, and he's really good with kids. You know, whatever it is, what brings you that level of joy? It's saying don't lose sight of that. Don't lose sight of that thing. Embrace the potential of that house, which is, once again, what your heart wants, your heart's desire, your joy, what you want in love, how you express yourself, entrepreneurship, being a leader. You know, don't lose sight of whatever that may be for you. Thank you so much, number 6. Best of luck to you, obviously. Number 7. Ooh, number 7, that is the worst feeling. Okay. Intentions. King of Pentacles reversed. The 4 of Wands. I mean, you know, the King of Pentacles reversed is not somebody who's committing to another person. The King of Pentacles reversed is somebody who's, quite frankly, being, you know, freaking stingy, okay? This is somebody who will sometimes use another person for something, okay? And use for what? Well, it can represent using somebody else for comfort, right? It's Taurus energy, that King of Pentacles. Using somebody else for comfort, using somebody else for status, money, etc., or using somebody for 4 of Wands. Fun and hanging out and having a good time. You know, so it doesn't feel like... how do I explain this? Like sometimes it can look like this, right? Sometimes it can look like a relationship where, you know, maybe you are you're in a relationship with a man, but they, you know, make you pay for, you know, 50-50 for everything, and you're just like, God, this doesn't feel like a relationship. It feels like a roommate situation. You know what I'm saying? It can kind of feel like that. Now, am I saying that's what it is? No, not necessarily, but it's giving that similar energy. Do you know what I mean? Now, I asked what this person wants from you or with you, and I have the 3 of Wands with the 5 of Swords reversed. I think that they're open. They're open to exploring what that may be. They're open to waiting and kind of seeing. So I don't feel like this person is totally out of the door, if I'm going to be honest with you. Okay. I think that they definitely have their doubts. Thank you so much, number 7. Obviously, best of luck to you. We have number 8. Hello, number 8. Okay. This person, number 8, this person may have wanted you to give in to something, okay? Given into their whims. You know, the 9 of Wands reverse can also represent where their intention was to break down your wall in some way, to get you to give up on something, to get you to give in to something, to get you to stop fighting something, fighting against them, whatever it may be. The Fool. They may have been trying to get you to second guess who you are, like your authenticity. Like, what was the whole intention behind it, though, is what I'm trying to understand. The Queen of Swords reversed. What were they feeling about said person that made them want to do this? They wanted attention. They wanted some kind of recognition or attention. But they may have went about it in a way that had no decorum or maybe was unbecoming. Like, I don't know if they were looking for validation from others, looking for validation from you. But it seems like this person wanted you to give in to something or to give up on something. They wanted you to get you in your head. They wanted you to come out of character and become illogical. And it's because they were seeking some level of validation from you or others. I'm sorry. Let me know how it goes. Number 9. Okay, let's see. He was looking. He was definitely looking with that Page of Swords there. Curious. This is somebody who may have thought you were doing it because you love him. There may have been this perspective that this person thinks that you are very sensitive, sweet, caring, something about that. Somebody very sensitive and sweet. That for some reason, that's what he got from that. Page of Cups reversed and the Six of Cups. When this person saw this picture, it brought up a lot of memories, but I don't know if they necessarily were ready to open themselves up to creating more. It brought up a lot of flashbacks or memories between the two of you. So in my opinion, this would be a positive response. Thank you, number 9. Number 10. Aw, thank you, baby. I miss you too. Let's see. Is he worth it? What is she gonna get out of this? I'm gonna pull one more. 6 of Pentacles. I think that this person will be maybe very financially generous with you. This may be somebody who ends up teaching you some level of confidence. But the 10 of Pentacles reversed, I'm going to be honest with you, number 10, this may not have the legs to run 10 miles, I do think that this person will attempt to be very generous with you and generous with their time. But again, I don't see this being a long term, okay? Maybe something changes, okay? But right now, I'm seeing a level of generosity, but you may also feel like this person is a bit held back, a bit stoic. And that's not always a bad thing, right? But that's kind of what I got there. So I don't know. Maybe a little bit more short term than like 10 years down the line, okay? Obviously, I'm hoping for better than that, but that's what I see. Thank you so much, number 10. All right, you guys, thank you so much to all of my super chatters. Obviously, my mods, you guys are amazing. I am offering $18 New Moon in Libra readings on my Hipsy page. If you guys want to go ahead and book that, you can go ahead and do that at the link that you see that's pinned in the chat box. So thank you again. Thank you, Lori, Kenneth, Complexity. Thank you to everybody that came in. I love you guys to pieces, and I will talk to you soon. Have a good one.